Welcome to Aspects Land of a Changing Man. This is Gold again, coming to you with another episode. Decided that I was going to come to you every Tuesday and every Saturday. So I would come to you twice a week with 2 episodes giving you my opinions on things that I feel like are some of the problems that we have within our community, some of the problems that we have within ourselves, how we can see what's going on and what's happening. Well, one thing that I've seen is the hardest part for a person to do to see change is to self-reflect. Self-reflection is a thing that we all should be able to do. A lot of people go through life and they look themselves in the mirror while they're doing makeup, or they look themselves in the mirror when they're looking at how good they look. But actually being able to look yourself in the mirror and face the decisions that you made is something that it's hard for a lot of people to do. I was watching a movie the other day and the guy said the reason I'm quitting my job is because of the fact that it's becoming hard to look in the mirror. I'm walking past the mirror instead of looking in it. And that becomes a problem. And the reason that I say self-reflection is more important is because when you're able to look in the mirror and you're able to see things that you might not want to look at as far as like decisions or, opinions about yourself, or seeing what people say about you and aligning that with your idea of you, then you can see if these things are correct. If they align with each other, you can actually see what is being said, and then after that, you can actually go back to, if you find that it's wrong, you can go back to the source of why you think what you think that idea came from, where you think the idea came from. Because once you're able to do that, that makes the whole difference of being able to change yourself into the person that you feel is the best you. You can never become the best you if you're never able to self-reflect. And I will explain why a lot of the problems are in self-reflection. Why they're solved with self-reflection. When you think about it for a second, a lot of the problems that we have within relationships are the choices that we make within a relationship. The idea that we have within a relationship of what we think is right for a relationship to be fulfilled. The only way for you to be able to do that is to have ideas. Is to have an idea of what you think that is supposed to happen. It comes from a belief that you feel is right. And I put it on Facebook today. A lot of us we weren't built off of the morals and making the actions that prove that we know what love is. See, there are a lot of us that are scared of things. We have abandonment issues. We have insecurities. We have fear of trust. We have different type of ways that we feel different type of things that go through our heads when it comes to how we're going to deal with ourselves within a relationship. But there's one thing that a lot of people feel like is going to be the thing that they accept in a relationship. It's not their actions, it's the actions of others. It's not how you treat them. it's how they treat you. See, when a lot of men go through a relationship, because other men have told them this is what it is and they accepted that, there is a border of proving their love. Even though they get caught cheating, they still prove their love in a certain type of way because of the fact that their belief is this. Oh, as long as I'm doing this, I'm proving love. It's not that she can do it. It's just that you can. She is expected to not do this. But you, on the other hand, because of the type of belief that you came with, is not allowing that to happen to you. And a lot of those reasons are because of the fact that we weren't built off of a significant other moral. We weren't built off of that. A lot of us didn't have what we didn't have the foundation of a marriage, two-parent household. We didn't have somebody there to sit here and show us that the love of the other person in your household is more important than the opinions of the people outside. That the consistency in the house proving that you love the other person in a type of way that proves they are a part of you is something that we haven't been built off of. Some of us have been built off of independence and consistency. Some of us have been built off of, going here and there. Fear of commitment. We haven't had somebody sit here and sit us down and for 100% of the time be able to show us and tell us and prove to us that person on the side is more important. Not the person out there or the opinions of the others out there or what's on the TV, but the actual inside of your house is the most important people. We weren't built off of that. A lot of us weren't built off of that. A lot of us were. A lot of us have seen it. A lot of us have had that type of experience. So it's easier to switch to your relationship because you've seen it. But then you have people that haven't had that. And then when it comes to that point in time of the lies, because I'll tell you one thing, I have been lied to. I have been told that I have an extra house to go to in case you get kicked out of your home. She's crazy. So make sure that, you got some type of control over what's going on. Men are allowed to cheat. You need more than one female. Oh, it gets old. Sex gets old. So, you gotta, have something else on the side to spice it up. Oh man, make sure you got, make sure you got that female on the side that got that money. And these are things I was told. There was not a person sitting here saying, what are you doing? You don't treat somebody like that. Especially if you say that you love them. There wasn't a person sitting here saying, no, that's not how we do things. There wasn't a person sitting here saying, if she is you and you are her and y'all are together, then you must treat her in the same way you want to be treated. You must allow yourself to do the things. And that's the part. So sometimes it's not just stop doing what you've been doing, but allow yourself to do things that prove to you to you yourself that you love that other person in the house just like you want them to love you. It's an importance in being able to look at yourself. See, a lot of people can't look at themselves and say, I've done wrong. I was listening to a person yesterday on the internet, and he said confession is not just you saying like, "Oh man, I did this and I did that." It's agreeing that was wrong, agreeing with both parties, the one that made it a law to be wrong, and the person doing it. Them agreeing that was wrong is a confession. And that makes it even deeper, because you can sit here and say, yeah, I've done this and I've done that and I've done this and I've done that, and then make an excuse on why you did. Instead of saying, yeah, that was wrong. Which is the ultimate, like, okay, I'm time to fix it. Because once you make an excuse, for me, an excuse is like you being able to have a reason that if it happens again, they can look up and say, okay, well, that was why you did it. I understand this time. Oh, I understand that reason. But instead of you just saying I was wrong and improving it by never doing it again. And that comes with a self-reflect. I said the first person to talk to in business is yourself. When you want to talk business with somebody else, you got to be able to agree with what you're saying. You got to be able to agree with you, because if you sit here and you go and say something that you don't agree with, then it makes it politics. I mean, I'm just... it sounds like it's a mission behind it. I don't mean to throw it out there at the word, but, in politics, we've been saying things and then going the opposite way. Instead of being about business, hey, this is what it is. This is how it's going to go. And this is the agreement. We're making this contract, sign, cool, boom. Anybody cross it, there's a consequence for it. The first agreement should be made with you and yourself. Then the second agreement should be made with another person. But it comes to self-reflection. You being able to look yourself in the eyes and say that. And believe it from you. They say that some people lie so good that they believe it themselves. Only way that they are going to do that is to be able to say it to themselves in a way that they believe it. What if you're telling the truth? What if you're changing your ways? What if you're saying that's not going to be the way that I want to do anymore? That comes from being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this is what it is. Self-reflection. But leadership becomes self-reflect. Some people lead by example. The best way to lead for me is by example. Best way to sit here and say, hey, you know what? That person would want this type of treatment because I would want that type of treatment. Understanding that person because I want to be understood. When you think of bad bosses, you think of somebody that just wants, and doesn't care about your needs. They want. But they don't look at your wants. They don't look at what you do, what you go through. They don't care about you. So then they don't self-reflect on, hey, this guy is putting yourself in their shoes. All that comes as a self-reflection. All of that. Being able to sit here and put yourself in somebody else's shoes and say, well, I wouldn't want to be treated like that, so let me not do it. It's still sitting here looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you don't do that. This is how you would feel if it happened to you. So you mustn't feel that way. A lot of us don't understand that we actually... Some people, I've said this before, some people will respond to you and try to hurt you because of what you do on accident. Because our communication skills are not as perfect as what it should be. Some people feel hurt by your accidents because they're not used to who you are as a person. They're only used to what they want from a person and feel as if you should already know. Even though you don't know, even though they're not telling you, they still feel as if you should know. So they respond in a way, and you'll be like, why did you do that? And a lot of the times that I sit here and I analyze situations, some things that I don't see. Some things that I don't see is how I affect other people on accident. On accident. Not on purpose, but on accident. In the game of basketball, some person comes down and you are sitting here you're sitting here in a basketball game, and you know you got a wide open layup, but they don't pass you the ball. They keep just doing what they're doing. They're dribbling the ball. They're shooting the ball. They're not passing it to anybody. But you feel like you should be getting the ball from them. So when it gets to the point where 30 times you didn't came down, you didn't play perfect defense to help that person not get scored on, and they keep not giving you the ball to, you know what I'm saying, just fill a void. That one time that they needed help, you'll let the guy slide. You'll become lazy. You'll sit here and not, help him out. And then he'll look at you and be like, hey, man, I need some help. I need some help. I need help. Where you at? You're supposed to help me. And you don't communicate back with him. Hey, man, I'm not. And you just get mad at him. You start yelling. That's your man. When he's sitting here and he has something going on and he's not able to notice that he's not able to do that, that becomes a communication issue. And he might not even be not passing it to you on purpose. He might be just in his own lane, and something may be going on in his brain to where it takes away from what's going on. But being able to communicate, because he's not doing it on purpose or not passing it to you. He never came into the game and said, I don't like him. Oh, I don't think that this is his day. I'm not going to pass him the ball. But accidentally, every time he's seen something, he was like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do. And it accidentally becomes that to where if you guys don't communicate, you feel like he's going against you. Then it starts to you going against him. But he's not doing it on purpose. But you feel like it's a purposely done thing, or you have to show him instead of tell him that you're hurt. It happens a lot in real life. It happens a lot. And people don't understand that. I've seen it in relationships. I've seen it where a person will feel hurt because of some stuff that happened. Accidentally, just being me. You got into a relationship with me 5-6 months down the line. And I didn't do something that was small, but just wasn't your cup of tea. And then next thing you know, it's something done to show your frustration in what I did. Now, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't. But just because I wasn't mindful or our communication was off, there was an intent to hurt and then show the frustration in a way where I was going to be hurt. It sucks in life. But then I've had to look at myself and say, well, what is going on? Because when I look at them and say what's going on, they might not be able to explain it. They might not be able to explain it. So I have to look at myself and say, what do I think is going on? And I'll approach them with a way they feel like we can communicate. And if we can, we can. If we can't, there's got to be a different way, because I'm not finna respond in that type of way. Used to respond back. Oh man, something's going crazy. Something's not feeling right. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. But now I've learned in my wanting to solve problems that maybe I may have. I look out. Hey, what? Oh man. All right, was it this? I'm sorry. This is how I was feeling, and you could have told me. Because sometimes it's just the issue of trust and being able to let a person know that they were hurt by this before they're able to respond in that type of way. Or being forgiving that they responded in that type of way to let them know for the next time this is what you could do. You can do this. You can let me know. I know that you feel like in the past, whoever else would not let you have that type of issue, but with me, you're able to have that. You're able to have that type of communication with me because of the fact that I want to be able, us to be able to talk. Because a lot of issues are just in misunderstandings. A lot of them are in misunderstandings. But that comes into play with being able to look yourself in the mirror and see if you would want to be treated in a certain type of way, or if you did something that you wouldn't want done to you, or if you see something that they said before that later on you forgot. Self-reflection. It's all in self-reflection. Well, once again, this has been Aspects Land of a Changing Man. This is Gold. You know, you can reach me up on here. You definitely hit me up with any subjects, any topics you want to hear about. I'm going to get into that. I've read a couple of emails that I've gotten, and definitely want to talk about those subjects. I'm going to find a way to incorporate those inside of the podcast of talking about emails that I've gotten. I don't want to be rambling on, and I don't want to just stop. And when I've gotten into that zone, sometimes you just get into a zone and you just be gone. But I think starting next week, we're going to definitely start responding to the emails, bringing the emails on, and using it as a question within the last 5 minutes of the podcast. So you definitely want to hit me up with an email. Go ahead. We got it at mplsmikid@gmail.com. For you guys that already have emailed me, well, you're going to be the first ones. I got about 3 of them to answer, so we're definitely going to incorporate those starting next week. So I do thank you guys for listening in. Thank you guys for coming, support, the love, and we definitely want to see. I definitely will be getting at you guys Later next week.